Kabanata 32, Grief. Tahimik kong sinundan si Mami sa family room kasama si Nikolay. Si Bal was there with the kids. He watched Mom kneel to hug the boys. Medyo nagtagal si Mami sa paghalik at pagyakap kay Archer nang si Nikolay naman ang humalik at yumakap kay Jack. I want to tell her many things but I guess this is not the time for it. Sumama si Jack, Archer at si Bal sa amin patungo sa entrance gallery. There was no choice but to pass through the crowd in the dining area at dahil nauna ako, nakita ko si Tito Achilles na tulala at si Snow na nakayuko habang nagsasalita si Jackson ng kung ano. Jack stopped when they saw us. Tumayo si Snow at kahit nakasimangot, lumapit kay Mami at yumakap pa rin. Mami kissed Snow softly on the cheek and then me. Marahang dumantay muli ang mga mata niya sa amin bago siya ngumiti at umalis na, kasama si Nikolay. Jack escorted them till the elevator. Naisip ko tuloy kung hindi ba nagsisi si Jack na umalis kami kay Nikolay. His silence told me that there was a sudden longing for him to be with Mommy, but he just wouldn't admit it. Niyakap ko siya sa likod pagkaluhod dahil kahit hindi niya sabihin, kilala ko siya. I'm gonna miss Lola, I said to say the words I'm sure he wanted to utter, but we'll visit her always. He nodded and swallowed hard. Ngumiti ako dahil kahit ako naman, ngayon ko lang natanto. Sa loob ng ilang taon, hindi ko inasahan na ako mismo mangungulila rin. Sa bagay, ilang taon kaming magkasama lagi ni Mami. We might not always be happy with each other. We fight and do so many stupid mistakes together, but that has always been my relationship with her. Not perfect, but very real. I pushed back the welling tears in my eyes and swallowed the lump on my throat to be strong in front of my son. And one swift look at his father, I know what he'll ask for. Papa, we'll visit Lola soon. I'll make her visit us, please. Nanginig ang boses ni Jack. Jack knelt down in front of our son and nodded. He smiled. I'll make her visit us. Hindi na nakabalik sina Jack at Archer sa family room. Tito Achilles started to ask technical questions and his eyes never left Jack at all. Kahit pa nag-uusap ang magpinsan at nagtatakbuhan paminsan. Nasa dining area pa rin kami nakatayo na habang nag-uusap. Snow started to enumerate Mommy's lies to her or to everyone we know. Tinanggap ko naman ito dahil alam ko ang lahat-lahat ng iyon. The way Mom spread the news to her friends of me marrying Aldrich. I'm sorry, Amber. I know her so much but I never thought she could do this to you. Amin ni Snow. Kinagat ko lang ang labi ko. Maybe it's not bad to revisit the past, ha? Siguro sa akin, tapos na ako roon. Pero sa kanila na ngayon palang nalaman ng totoo, bagong-bago pa ang lahat. It was very believable. I can imagine her pushing you to an old rich man. She literally told me and my father that you need to be knocked up. You see, that was her term. Frustrated na natawa si Snow. Ngumuso ako. Hindi na nagulat sa nagawa ni Mami. It was disgusting but that's in the past now. Nakita kong tulala si Jax habang nakikinig sa mga sinasabi ni Snow. You need to be knocked up by an old rich man like a De La Vega to marry rich and save your name. That it's only a matter of time now. Kakalat ang tungkol sa pagkakakunan mo and she didn't want you to look bad so she's pushing you to marry him. Umiling si Tito Achilles, pumikit at yumuko. I was screaming at her on the phone when she admitted that after she gave me the invitation of your wedding. She was so cruel at akala ko sa akin lang, sa'yo rin pala. I believed her because it was very possible, plus the next days there were more rumors, a blind item in a socialite tabloid, and confirmation from Klaus de la Vega, Nikolai's son. Snow recalled. It's not true. None of it was true, Jack said. But that was what we believed in for the past years, si Snow. I get it. Madali lang maniwala lalo na't alam ng lahat na nagawa rin iyan ni Mami sa sarili niya noon. Marry Aldrich man and be the most talked about socialite. It was what she really wanted for me, and if it's not because of my dad, she would have pulled that string. Hindi ko inakala magagawa niya ito. Si Tito Achilles sa kalmadong boses. That was what she thought was good when she had her own prejudice of me being an asshole, Papa. Muling nagtagal ang tingin ni Tito Achilles kay Jonaxx. There were unsad questions on his gaze to his son. At kung nagtagal pa ang titig ko, tingin ko alam ko kung ano-ano iyon. It was both shock and wonder. What important is that none of it was true. Jack is not Nikolai's son, he's mine, and they're here, dagdag niya. Tumayo si Snow at niyakap ako na mahigpit. We stayed that way for a while as she whispered her apologies about what happened in the past. Inaamin ko, bukod sa buntis ako at abala sa kay Archer sa mga unang taon, one of the reasons why I couldn't get to contact you was because I was angry with Tita. I was even almost angry at you for obeying her. I know, I'm sorry, ako rin naman. I was mad at her and Nikolai for it. Ang mali ko lang din, hindi ko sinubukang makipag-usap sa inyo. It was an emotionally draining day for all of us. It was 9 in the evening when Tito Achilles called it a day. Lalo na dahil nakitang humikab na si Jack pero sinusubukan pa ring sabayan si Archer. Pagod na siya, ang mabuti pa, magpahinga na kayo. Si Tito Achilles na nagtatagal ang tingin sa akin bago bumaling kay Jackson. Tumango si Jackson. Isang linggo muna akong liliban sa trabaho. I'll do light work here instead. Tito Achilles agreed on Jackson's decision. I'll see if I can visit again in the next days. We surely will, si Snow sabay yakap ulit sa akin at ngiti. Hinatid namin sila sa elevator landing at nang kami na lang ang naiwan, nagkatinginan kami ni Jonaxx. Somehow I couldn't look at him in the eye. Maybe because when I look at him, a new wave of emotion will cut through me and I'm already drained. I can take that kind of emotion for the day because I know it will only drain me more. Sabay kaming umalis doon. Nagtataka kung nasaan na ang anak. We both found Jack in the sofa of the living room, fast asleep and purring. Jackson went to him and after caressing his hair for a few moments, marahan niya na itong inangat sa kanyang bisig. Wala na siyang sinabi. Sumunod na lang ako sa kung saan niya dadalhin si Jack. I sighed my relief when I saw that he's bringing him in the master's bedroom. I knew then that although he wants to be generous to Jack, there was no way he'll miss a chance to sleep with him if there's an opportunity. Hindi na rin ako nagprotesta pa. I am so drained that I think everything what happened today and yesterday is my limit. Hindi ko na kaya makipagtalo, makipag-away, o kahit ano pa kay Jackson. Anyway, when I look at him watching my son, his longing and passion for Jack is just overflowing. I wouldn't dare complain or get mad at him for that. He dimmed the lights of the room. Naupo siya sa tabi ni Jack habang tahimik itong pinagmamasdang natutulog sa gitna ng kama, kinakain ng kutsyon at kumot. He looked so comfortable on the bed that somehow the draining days were worth it for me. Inisip ko ang aking luggage. My last memory of it was when the house help pushed it to somewhere. Inisip ko baka nasa ilang kwarto rito. I opened the door to the walk-in closet, which will eventually lead to the bathroom, and saw my luggage standing in there. Huminga ako ng malalim. Maybe the house help was just misinformed. Dinapa ko ang luggage ko para sana buksan pero napansin kong magaan na iyon. Kunot-noo kong mabilisang binuksan at nakitang wala nang laman. I opened the mirror sliding doors of the walk-in closets and saw my clothes properly hanged. Konti lang ang dala ko kaya konti lang din ang naroon. Ilang sandali kong tinitigan ang itsura nila. Sa huli, sumuko na at nagpatuloy. The large bathroom with a jacuzzi was very pretty and modern. It is all white and accented only with wood things like the sink and the plant. The jacuzzi is facing a large mirror window that overlook the skyscrapers of the south. There's a glass door leading to the toilet and another glass door to the shower. Kinuha ko ang tuwalya sa ilalim ng malaking sink at gumamit na ng banyo. While showering, all I think about are the videos on my phone. Kaninang umaga ko pa iyon iniisip na ipakita kay Jonaxx. If he wasn't asleep when I come out of here, I would then let him borrow my phone to see all of it. Pagkatapos kong maligo at mag-ayos, nagpalit na sa isang wholesome na cotton pajama at lumabas na roon. I turned to Jonaxx, who was now in his bathrobe with damp hair, and still watching my son sleeping. His room was wide, may sariling tanggapan at malaking couch. Although the bed was big, I couldn't help but think of alternatives if in case there's a problem with it. I shrugged it all off and started walking towards the bed. Hindi niya ako nilingon, kahit pa noong pumunta na ako sa kabilang side ng bed kung saan tingin ko dapat ako pumesto. He was watching Jack carefully and caressing his short hair languidly. Hindi ka pa matutulog? Marahan kong tanong. Nag-angat siya ng tingin. The lights were very dim at ang nakabukas lang nasa may couch pa kaya medyo malayo sa amin. Hindi ko tuloy mabasa ang tingin niya at baka magkamali pa ako sa nakikitang pagod at sakit. Baka antok lang siya. I'll stay up for a little while, he said. Tumango ako at kinuha ang oportunidad na iyon na kunin ang cellphone ko. Jack is a light sleeper so it might not be a good idea to watch it here unless you have earphones. Panimula ko sabay ayos sa cellphone para mapadpad sa tamang album. His brow furrowed and looked hesitant to get my phone from me. Nang tinanggap niya, hindi na natanggal ang mga mata niya roon. That's a compilation of videos and pictures of him when he was younger. Naka-album yan, simula noong infancy until our last days in the US. Kung gusto mo lang naman, sabi ko. His jaw clenched. Dahan-dahan siyang tumayo. Ako naman ngayon ang umupo sa kama. I'll watch it, he said huskily without looking at me. Okay, he did. Umalis siya roon sa kama o tabi ng kama at lumipat sa couch. Humiga na ako at inayos na ang kumot. I kissed Jack and saw him move a bit from that. I whispered my good night and love reminder before covering myself with the comforter. Pumikit ako. Kahit na hindi naman naka-earphones, hindi na masyadong rinig ang videos dito sa kama. Umangat ako ng konti para tingnan kung nanonood ba siya. He's sitting down with his back on us as the videos keep playing on my phone. Pumikit ulit ako at sinubukang matulog pero nagdaan ang 15 minuto, hindi ako makatulog. I tried to take a peek at him again and even when his back was on us, I saw his expression on the mirrors. Sapo niya ang kanyang noo, massaging the bridge of his nose. Every now and then, I see him closing his eyes so hard and when it opens again, it looks so tired and bloodshot even under the soft yellow lights. Mas lalo akong hindi inantok. After a long while of watching videos after videos, I heard him struggle to inhale. I didn't move. I knew then what he's feeling. Unti-unti akong dumungaw ulit pero bago ko siya mapanood, wala na siya roon. The door closed softly and I knew he's out. Ilang sandali akong nanatili roon. Iniisip na kailangan ko nang matulog. His reaction was normal. I am guilty of it. Looking back, it was a hard decision but I made it in between grief, anger, sorrow, and vengeance. Ayun ang totoo. Nagalit ako sa kanya para sa nawala kong anak. The day I learned of my pregnancy was the day I lost Jack twin. I blamed Jackson for it that I think he deserved not to know anything after that. Alam ko ang ginawa ni Nikolai at Mami pagkatapos noon pero isa rin ako sa nagpaubaya sa kanila sa parehong dahilan kung bakit ko siya iniwan ng walang alam. I blamed him for it. I blamed him for losing Jack twin. And I blamed myself too. The years of blaming, though, was paid when I struggled to raise Jack alone while bracing a storm in the family. Siya, hindi. Hindi niya naman kasi alam na nandyan si Jack. Ang alam niya lang, nawalan kami ng anak. So, I wonder if he blamed himself for it too. Maybe he didn't, huh? He was a selfish, notorious playboy who think only of himself. Mas lalo lang tuloy akong hindi makatulog. Umahon ako pagkatapos ng ilang sandali dahil pakiramdam ko, aabutin na naman ako ng umagang dilat. Not a good thing since I have an appointment tomorrow for a go-see. Hindi option ang lumiban lalo na kung naaalala ko kung ano ang ginawa ni Mami sa pera namin. Most especially now that I think about it, she might be very stressed and tomorrow, I'll be broke if she indulged herself into her usual retail therapy. I need to cut her on my accounts, for sure. Habang iniisip iyon, hindi ko namalayan na lumabas na ako sa kwarto. I put on a nightgown and braced the doorway. The large hallways were silent. There was no trace of anyone around. Marahan akong bumuntong hininga at naisip kung nasaan si Jonaxx. He might be very devastated now thinking about the years without him in Jack's life. Gaya ng sinabi ko kanina, isa sa dahilan ko ng pagtatago ay ang paghihiganti. I should be happy now that he seems devastated and emotional, but why don't I feel it? Instead, I'm just nothing but worried. Naglakad ako patungo sa mga pintuan ng sumunod na kwarto. Dahan-dahan ang paglalakad ko. Iniisa-isa ang bawat painting, bawat pintuan at detalye roon. I sighed heavily when I reached the library and saw no one. The living room that's next on my side was bare too. The large glass sliding door was not open, but the curtains were parted for me to see the rest of the skyscrapers on the west. Humalukip-kip ako at tumitig doon. Where do you think is he? Nagtiimbagang ako at lumapit sa glass door. I opened it and immediately the cold wind blew my long hair. I shuddered but continued opening it wholly. I inhaled and remained standing in between the dimming lights and the darkness of the balcony. The wind whirled around in a poignant way because we're in a topmost floor of a 70-story tower. Niyakap ko ang sarili ko at hinagod ang magkabilang balikat habang nanatiling nakatitig sa mistulang bituing mga ilaw galing sa natatanaw na mga lugar. Did he leave? He went out to forget? Can't take it? Mapait kong kinunot ang mga noo at mas lalong hinigpitan ang yakap sa sarili. Funny how after every little heartache, there is still an urn that's only triggered when it's about him. Funny how even when years have gone and I say I moved on, there is a powerful force out there, sleeping, hiding. Iyon ang dahilan kung bakit takot na takot ako sa kanya. Iyon ang dahilan kung bakit ayoko. Kahit anong mangyari, ayoko na ulit. The fragment of the real Amber is hiding in that urn, only unleashed by him. That fragment of me is the ugliest part of my being. I don't like it. I want to bury it. I want to deny it. I want to kill it. This is the only reason why I can't give myself a chance. This is the reason why I would choose years of mediocrity and blandness than years of roller coaster ugly emotions. Hinding-hindi ko na gagawin iyon. Ulit ko sa sarili. Uulit-ulitin ko ito habang kaya ko. Uulitin ko habang nakakapag-isip pa ako. Uulitin ko habang tulog pa ang halimaw na ako sa loob ng bangang iyon. For a fleeting moment, I felt him behind me. He wasn't really keeping his presence a secret, so I turned slowly. Kalmado ako pero nagbago ang hugis ng mga mata nang nakita ko siya. He looked so broken with bloodshot eyes. His dark gray eyes was burning with a potent storm. His furrowed brows made my heart fall. His whole expression is screaming with raw longing, loss, regret, grief, and begging. I was about to say something light because I didn't like how he looked. Even when I have ill feelings for him, my heart is falling for the image of my son, the only love of my life, hurt and sorrowful. Napasinghap ako nang yumuko siya at marahang lumuhod sa aking harap. My eyes widened more as I watched his shaking hand clutch mine and pulled me softly. Gusto kong kumawala dahil tumindig ang pintig ng puso ko, pero sa paraan ng pagkuha niya sa akin, wala akong kawala. Jonaxx! I called to stop him, but there's no stopping him. He pulled me towards him while he's kneeling in front of me. His arms wrapped around my legs like a little child looking for comfort. His hands were fisted strongly as he hugged me so tight. His head on my stomach, hiding his entire face from anyone. Jonaxx! Muli kong tawag sabay tulak sa kanya. Hinawakan ko ang kanyang balikat at marahan siyang tinulak. Ano ba? I said softly, not wanting to sound rude when he's obviously in so much pain. Nanginig na rin ang boses ko. Kahit anong subok ko na gawing magaan ang pangyayari, hindi ko kaya. What happened was already in the past. I was hurt and I've gone through it already. There isn't a day I don't think about our lost child, but sometimes my thoughts were drowned by the many present happenings. Dala na rin siguro na matagal na iyon, pero sa kanya ngayon, nararamdaman kong nagbabalik ang lahat. Jonaxx. Nangihina siya kaya nang tinulak ko, medyo kumalas. He felt it that he made his embrace tighter. Saglit lang, he muffled and strained voice said. Bumagsak ang mga luha ko habang pinagmamasdan siyang nakaluhod sa harap ko. Yakap ako at ang mukha nasa aking tiyan. Kinagat ko ang labi ko at sa huli, bumuntong hininga. Nangangatog ang mga kamay ko habang hinahayaan itong lumapat sa kanyang buhok. He was like a large kid wanting comfort. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. His voice sounded so broken. Hindi ko nakayanan. Mas lalo pang bumuhos sa mga luha ko. Pumikit ako ng mariin at tinabunan ang bibig ng palad para hindi humikbi. Hindi niya naman sinabi kung para saan. May palagay ako kung ano ang tinutukoy niya. With my 2 hands, I covered my face. Because my tears won't stop falling, mas lalo lang dumaloy ang luha ko tuwing nararamdaman ko ang mas lalong paghigpit ng yakap niya. As if squeezing me would comfort both of us. As if his embrace of me would take all the pain away from him and from me. Ilang sandali kaming natiling ganoon ang ayos, walang sinasabi. The only noise I can hear is our struggled inhales. I concentrated on my breathing and looked down on him. He remained that way. Sana hindi ako nagselos. Sana binaliwala ko lang iyon. He muttered a violent curse and buried his face again in his stomach. Beating my lower lip, I suppressed another set of tears. Binagsak ko ang isa kong kamay at marahang hinawakan ang kanyang buhok. My eyes softened as I watched him. I let myself go for the first time in years. I let myself care for him. I stroked his hair and I felt him struggle more. I didn't have a relationship with Rowena, he said in between his struggles to inhale. Mumuso ako. Parang nilulukot ang puso habang pinagmamasdan siyang nanginginig sa takot, pagsisisi, panghihinayang at matinding sakit. I didn't even fucking kiss her. I pulled her to make it seem so because I was mad. His voice broke. My lips parted and after a while, muli akong yumuko. Pinikit ko ang mga mata ko. Humigpit ang yakap niya. I'm sorry, he said in a shaking voice. Dumilit ako at kinagat muli ang labi. Parang pinupunit ang puso ko nang natanto kung ano ang susunod na sasabihin at bakit ko iyon sasabihin. May kasalanan din naman ako, Jonaxx. I was childish. I let myself get drunk in a bar. Let myself kiss someone else while we were together. He uttered a violent curse and he shook his head. If I was just a little bit fucking understanding. I swallowed hard and breathed heavily. Hindi ko rin naalaga ang mabuti ang sarili ko noon. Dahil ako dapat na nag-aalaga sa'yo. Tama na. Mapait kong sinabi na natantong sa huli, pareho kaming may kasalanan at tapos na iyon. It's all in the past. We should celebrate and remember our lost angel as we celebrate and take care of Jack. May mga bagay na hindi para sa atin. Even if we were then careful, if he or she wasn't for us, we'll never have it. He shook his head, not convinced of what I said. His embrace only remained tight. It was like he's more convinced that he can play God and control the things in the past. It was as if he's so sure that if he did everything right, everything will also fall into place. Ang totoo, hindi. We can only hope to have that power, but if the will says we couldn't, it will never happen. His mind seems so close, his heart in so much pain and darkness. I'm sorry. Dinungaw ko siya at marahang hinaplos ulit ang buhok. He was sweating so much and his head very hot. Huminga ako ng malalim at pinagpatuloy ang ginagawa sa malalambot na mga kamay. Here is the man who hurt me the most, the man who's danger for me, the man I could never get myself to love again for my own good. But then I wonder, even when my darkness is inside the urn, does the angel Amber love this man? Paano kung hindi lang ang kadiliman ko ang baliw sa kanya? Paano kung pati ang matinong parte ko mahal siya? Isang oras o mahigit pa. Hindi ko alam kung ilan ang naubos namin habang yakap niya ako na mahigpit at tahimik. When he decided to let go of me, his head was down when he uttered his words in a serious and dark way. I'm sorry, magpahinga ka na. Bitterness filled me as I watched him kneeling in front of me with hands sagging beside him. He wants me to leave him. Dahan-dahan akong lumuhod sa kanyang harapan. Mas lalo siyang yumuko. He doesn't want me to see how broken he is, but I've already felt and seen it, Jonaxx. Tinagilid ko ang ulo ko para hanapin ang mga mata niya. Dito ka lang? He nodded and his jaw clenched. As usual, my Jackson Riego has his own way of things. Sometimes I feel like I'm his world, but at times I feel like an outsider. Natili ako nakatitig sa kanya. Hindi ka pa matutulog? Alam kong may hirapan siyang matulog. I understand his decision, but somehow, I couldn't dare think about him alone in here. Nag-angat ng tingin ang namumula niyang mga mata. Those ruthless dark gray eyes I loved so much. Then I noticed where my son got that pretend move. Tumayo siya astang malakas, hindi nangihina. His large frame was screaming of power and authority, but I can see through him. He's so broken right now. He's only pretending to be okay. He bent a bit to take my hand and pull me up. He sighed heavily after a few moments before he concluded. Matulog na tayo. Iyon lang at wala ng iba. Tahimik kaming dalawa pagdating sa kwarto. He turned some lights off, leaving 2 dim lights. Humiga siya sa tabi ni Jack habang nakatingin ako sa kanya. He was all silent as he watched Jack in his deep sleep. Biglang nagtama ang mga mata namin. Marahan kong inayos ang aking kumot bago pumikit. I was sure I slept first, not even sure if he managed to sleep at all. Basta, kinaumagahan, ginising na lang ako ni Jack sa kanyang ingay. He was up early and Jax was too. I'm sure because of Jack news early in the morning. Papa cook us breakfast, Mama. Papa knows how to cook, he said when my eyes opened. Hindi ako makangiti. Medyo naalala ko pa ang nangyari kagabi. Good morning, he said merrily. My son is always serious and critical. The past few days have been good for him. Naramdaman kong nahaluan ng konting saya ang disposition niya. Really? I said. Yes, we should try it now. He's done. Come on, wake up. Pagod akong bumangon at kinusot ang mga mata. Jack, I'll just shower first. Magbibihis din ako. Nagtaas ng kilay si Jack. His judgy and serious eyes is here, and I wish he remained innocent and jolly though. I have a go-see, I explained. Nagtatrabaho ako. You should spend more time with your papa alone. Alright, we'll wait for you on the dining area for the breakfast. Then he walked out probably to report to his father. At least ginising ako. Kung hindi, malilate ako. Speaking of work, how will I get there when I have no car? Buying a new one isn't an option. Should I contact Nikolai and ask him to put the car here? Bibili pa ba ako ng parking space? Oh my gosh, where are you, Manny? Naligo at nagbihis ako. I'm wearing a long dark jeans to emphasize my legs and some simple Steve Madden ankle strap black stilettos. My top is a black sweetheart tube top. I blow-dried my hair till it's straight and shiny. My Chanel chain clutch and I'm done. Ngayon ko lang napansin na malawak pala talaga ang kondo na ito. The hallways are like the catwalk. May chance pa akong mag-overthink habang naglalakad. Iniisip ko kung bakit ganito kalaki ang kondo niya. I get that he probably wants a penthouse unit, but I can't help but wonder about the other rooms. Woman? Isinantabi ko ang kaisipang iyon. Not the time to think too much because my hectic schedule is screaming on my face. Ate Nelia was the only person in that dining area who looked at me and then minded her own business after. Kasi parehong nakatitig ng medyo seryoso at madilim ang tingin ng dalawang pares na mga mata. Jackson seemed fresh even when I was sure he had no sleep. How unfair! He was near the countertop preparing something in his white shirt and gray cotton short pants. Jack is sitting on the dining table with sharp eyes as he looked at my attire. His father did it too, but with much precision. "Morning," I greeted and looked at the food in front of my son. It's a usual breakfast: scrambled egg, bacon, hot dog, pancakes. I was about to comment about it when Jax put some newly prepared vegetable dish in front of Jack. Kaya tinikom ko na lang ang bibig ko dahil andyan na pala ang gusto kong i-comment. "I took a leave from work," Jack said seriously. Kahit ayaw niyang maging tunog demanding sa alam kong gusto niyang mangyari, hindi pa rin nakatakas sa akin iyon. He wanted me to take a leave from work too. "Your schedule for the next shoots are still next week?" Tanong iyon pero alam kong alam niya na. Tumango ako. "Oo, pero may go-see ako para sa isang fashion show." He nodded and looked away. Inabala niya ang sarili kay Jack. Naupo ako at kumuha na ng makakain. Naupo na rin si Jax at tahimik na kumuha ng sarili niyang pagkain. In the middle of an awkward silence, our eyes met. It startled me, so I immediately turned to my son. However, I noticed how Jack was watching us very carefully. "No chance of rescheduling it?" He said it carefully. "Hindi ako pwedeng mag-request ng ganoon. The industry will go on and follow their schedule even without me. I'm not in the position to reschedule things like this." Tumango naman si Jax na tila ba naintindihan niya iyon. Nagtagal ang tingin ko sa kanya kaya nabasa kong nag-iisip pa siya ng paraan. "Where is it?" was his next question. "Makati. It's for an annual show of a big local brand. It's on my phone, by the way." I paused. My phone?" His lips twisted. Nilapag niya ang isang itim na mas malaking cellphone sa harap ko. "I'm not yet done. Use mine for the meantime. I'll forward any text message or email. Just text or call me if you need any information that's on your phone." Gusto kong magprotesta, kaso lang, his reason seems legit. He's not done watching it, so he can't part with it. It's the precious memories of Jack, so reason approved, somehow. Kinuha ko ang cellphone niya. I saw his eyes drift on his phone and when I put it inside my clutch. Nagpatuloy kami sa pagkain ng tahimik. So far, the morning seemed all right until I heard my son. "You know, Papa, I always ask Lola then if we can go to Mama's work. She'd always say no. She'd rather sleep all day or go to some social activities." Jax glanced at me. I know exactly what he's thinking right now, and I can sense that he's being careful. "What do you mean by that, Jack?" I probed. He shrugged and smirked. "Hindi pa siya nakakabisita sa mga trabaho mo?" Jackson asked simply and I can almost taste the implied meaning. Bago pa magkaroon ng mga susunod na desisyon, tumayo na ako at tinapos na ang pagkain sa pamamagitan ng pag-inom ng konting tubig. "You have a driver," sabi ni Jackson bago pa ako makapagtanong.